We've all been there. You're starting a brand new job or there was some sort of change in your life and your employer asks you, how much do you want to withhold for taxes? And they hand you that W-4 form. Well, here's the thing. Nobody has any clue how to fill that out. You're just told to withhold some money for taxes. Well, today I'm going to walk you through how to figure out how much to withhold and how to get a template of that form to hand into your employer. And I'll admit it, figuring out what to put on my W-4 form that I'm handing into my employer has always been something that stumped me as well. It's something we're not taught, and as we learned in this week's podcast episode, it can be very important to withhold the right amount of taxes. It can be the difference between feeling strapped for cash throughout the year or owing the IRS a lot of money. Remember, that money is yours. So you want to make sure that your taxes are accurate so that throughout the year you're getting paid the right amount and you're not waiting on some massive refund that the IRS is paying you no interest on. And you want to make sure that you're not going to owe a bunch of money come tax time. So I'm excited in today's video to teach you a little bit more about tax planning when it comes to our day-to-day lives with our day jobs and help you withhold your taxes properly. In this video today, I'm going to walk you through the tax withholding estimator on the IRS website, and I'm going to walk you through it as I do it for myself so that we can talk about anything that may come up along the way, but it's going to be pretty simple and easy. So as it says here on screen, some of the things you're going to need include your pay stubs, pensions, annuities, your spouse's pay stubs, anything like that that tells you how much money you're making. That's going to be some important information. So let's go ahead and click Start Your Estimate. And it does say this will take about 25 minutes, so I'll condense it down for you here, but let's go ahead and get started. So it starts out with a couple simple questions. I'll go ahead and answer these. Once you're done with that, go ahead and click Next, and we'll move on to step 2. And step 2 is going to be when you start needing some more information. So this is when you're going to need to look up pay stubs and things like that. So let's go ahead and start filling this out. All right, here we are on step number 2. This is where you enter your income and tax payments. And I went ahead and entered some of this information for mine and my wife's current jobs. So it's really pretty simple. You have a job 1, job 2. You enter both yours and your spouse's jobs here, and it'll walk you through very easily what type of job is it, when do you expect to receive the income. And this part was very easy. So as you select some of this, other things will pop up. So it's going to ask you, when was your last pay period? When was your last paycheck? How much did you get? How much taxes did you pay? How much taxes have you paid so far this year? It's going to do some stuff for tips and overtime. It's really going to walk you through everything you need to input on here, and it's all on your last pay stub. And it's also going to ask you for things like retirement plans, health insurance, HSA contributions, because that does impact how much you're paying in taxes. So I'm going to remove this extra job here, but it's really easy to walk through and put your jobs in here. Also, you can add pension and annuity income or self-employment income or social security income if that applies to you. There's also unemployment income, pre-tax retirement, and then there's all sorts of different investment income. So if you're doing capital gain harvesting, you could input that information here and it can help you get a W-4 that's going to pay the correct amount of taxes. Really, this page is super simple and easy to walk through. And also make sure to read through it carefully because there's this estimated taxes paid section. And my first thought was to go add up all of the year-to-date taxes paid. But no, it says, please do not include taxes withheld from paychecks. So make sure you're reading this carefully as you're going through it. Let's move on to step 3 here, which is adjustments. So this is where you can input things like your student loan interest deduction, your educator expense deduction, and just make sure you read through all of this because they have plenty of information to explain to you what each of these items are. But there's always a link to take you to a help article that's going to explain it even more. But just walk through these different adjustments that you can make to your income. It's going to tell you each and every one that could impact your tax situation. It's going to ask you if you want to take the standard deduction or itemize. We'll use the standard deduction in this case. But pretty much what you're doing is you're almost pre-filing your taxes here. Of course, there's more specifics and data that goes into actually filing your taxes. But what this tool is doing is walking you through kind of an initial estimate of how much you'll owe in taxes. And then it's going to tell you how much you need to withhold. So you're kind of pre-filing your taxes, so to speak. Next, step 5 is additional deductions. Again, just scroll through this, read through it carefully. You're going to have an idea of what each one of these are and if they apply to you already coming into this tool. But we'll just continue walking through it. Credits, things like the American Opportunity Tax Credit, Lifetime Learning Credit, Adoption Credit, and so on. Just walk through each one of these and enter in the correct number. So now here we are at the end of the tax withholding estimator, and it's giving us the results. Based on the estimates that I entered, it's saying we're withholding too much in taxes and we're going to get a refund of about $800. So once this estimate tells you that you're probably going to get a tax refund, Now you know that you don't need to be withholding so much money in taxes, and you may actually feel like you're getting a raise after this because now you're going to be paying even less money in taxes that you don't actually owe. And the cool thing here is if you scroll down, it gives you a pre-filled W-4 form that you can print out and take to your employer, and they'll get adjusted for your next paycheck. It's really that easy. And honestly, this tool did not take 25 minutes to go through. It's going to be super easy and quick, especially if you have a simple financial situation with 1 or 2 W-2 jobs. It's going to be pretty quick for you to go through this. And like I said, having the right withholdings is the difference between owing the IRS money or having them owe you money. Because remember, it's your income and you don't want to be paying more than you need to just to get it back later down the road. You're missing out on so much opportunity cost if the IRS is holding on to your money, paying you $0 in interest, and then just giving it back to you next April. So make sure you update your tax withholdings so that throughout the year, your taxes are accurate and you're actually paying the correct amount. And this will help you each and every month get a paycheck that is accurate so that you're actually being able to use the money that is yours. So share today's episode with a friend so that they can make sure their paychecks are accurate and they're paying the correct amount of taxes as well. And the next time you hear someone complain that they're paying so much money in taxes, send them this video so that they can make the adjustments necessary to use their money throughout the year instead of having to wait on a big tax refund. And before we close out this video, I do want to mention the brand new guide that you can find at fp4ya.com/guide. Last week's videos were all about this brand new tool, but I want you to go check it out because there are a ton of great interactive tools that you can use to build your own financial plan. So go check out the brand new guide. You can find the link for it below in the description. And thank you for watching today's video on financial planning for young adults. I'm your financial planner, Skylar Fleming. Have a great week.